What's up, you guys? My name is Nia. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all, I need to do my nails. I keep looking in the video, like something is just not, I don't feel bright like I usually do. That's why I like bright nail polish and my nails, because I be feeling like, yeah. But anyway, y'all, I want to talk to y'all today about lust. And like y'all know, if y'all watch my journey, if y'all stay in tune, if you guys are new here, I'm new in Christ. I'm saved. I didn't get baptized, y'all. Like, I didn't go under the water. But naturally, God just called me. Like, I don't know how I got here. I just know through talking. And it's so funny, y'all. Like, this video, like, maybe I'm gonna have to do the next one about lust. But I'm about to tell y'all, like, it's so crazy, like, how my spiritual journey started. And then maybe that'll make what I want to talk about make a little bit more sense in the next video. But why yesterday, y'all? I'm gonna tell y'all this first. Yesterday, I saw the frog. I keep, like, mind you, I'm spiritual. I just told you I gave my life to God. So I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. Like, God accepted me for who I am. He saw the work I was putting in on myself to become a better person. And it was like, he just called me, like, and this is what I'm about to get to. So why yesterday, and mind you, we went out late last night to the store, like 10 o'clock. And when I came back from the store, it was a frog, a big one, this size, about this size, sitting right under, like right here in my pathway. Whew. And the other day, when we went outside, because I don't be out much. Like, I go out to the stores and I come back in the house. We go out to the pool sometimes, but I'm not, I'm friendly, but I'm not trying to meet people. I'm not here in Texas to really make friends, sort of say. I'm here just to get a new vibe. I mean, just to get, just get away from everybody in Maryland, actually. And I don't know. God called me here. I really don't know. God told me to come here. Like, people be thinking that when I first got here, people was like, oh, what made you want to come here? I'm like, I don't know. Like, God told me. It's like, it sounds so cliche, but when you really locked in with God, like, you would get it. So if you really have a relationship with God, like I said, it ain't about religion, ain't about knowing the scriptures. Granted, you do need to learn them. That's why I'm now reading my Bible, because I know, like, he's led me to my Bible. For every question I ask, he reveals. When you question God, he reveals. And that's why I say, just looking at my story and seeing what I'm going through and everything, it just makes me realize how everything has led up to the next thing. Like, it's just crazy. Like, we really be thinking that we go through stuff for no reason. No, everything we go through, good or bad, is literally for a reason. God knows what he's doing. We don't know. Which is why we need God, because he created the world, he created us, he created everything here. So as the creator, like Latoya always say about the manufacturer, when something going on with your car, when something going on with our iPhones, who we taking that shit to? The manufacturer, Apple, because they the only ones that can fix what's going on, because they made this shit. So if something's going on with you, who's your creator? Your real creator. It ain't your mama and your daddy, because who created them? And then who created the first human species? God did. So if God created the first human species, every human needs to be going back to God to get confirmation, to ask everything. When you're breaking down, when your body is breaking down, mind, body, or soul, the flesh or the soul, when either of those are breaking down, and you want to know why am I feeling like this? Why am I going through this? Why? When you want to know why, the only person that can tell you why is God. And I'm a living testimony to that. The more I question, the more he reveals. And it's just so crazy. It's like down to because I'm so curious. I told y'all in the last video, it's so crazy how, one of them last videos, my innocence being stolen made me curious. I don't know, like, I don't know if kids are naturally curious anyway, but even as a, adult now, like, I'm still curious. I'm a young adult, I'm 28. So I'm an adult, I'm grown, but I'm like, young adult. I don't know, maybe the young 20s is young adults. They not young adults. They are still kids. Now, me knowing what I know now and being in the position I am now, it made me realize 21-year-olds, 22, 23, you don't be knowing shit. You don't know the real unless you've been through certain things. But even still, it's like your brain don't finally start snapping on. Like, it's like a shift, a light turn on after 25. Like, at 25, after 25, it's like a light switch turn on. And it's just so crazy. And that's why I guess technically you can be on your parents' insurance till 26 years old, because that's when you really that's when your brain is fully an adult at that point. Don't mind the baby y'all in the back. But what I was getting to is just like, because I be asking so many questions just about, when I go outside, I just be like, how the fuck? Like, do y'all not ever, is it just me that's so curious? Like, I be like, this shit just don't make no sense. Like, I told you how I questioned if the Bible was real in the last video about one of them last videos I did about healing from abuse or something like that. Like, what caused everything? Me questioning, my curiosity led me to God, basically, like, literally. And me putting in the work. Me wanting better for myself, me talking out loud, me doing all those things. But because I was just outside the other day, I'm like, why? Like, what? Like, who? I hate bugs. I'm like, why do we need these, God? Like, why? And when we was sitting me and my kids was at the lake the other day, and we was sitting on the grass, just looking at the lake, and all the ants going in the ground. It's just like crazy how they live in the ground. They live in the darkness. And now that I'm reading, now I just started reading my Bible, and the thing is, I'm going real slow with it, because like I'm really breaking down every bit by bit, because I want to make sense of where this all began. Like, do y'all not ever just think about, like, where the hell did we come from? That's what made everything happen. Because I'm like, where did the very first person come from? Like, because I don't know the Bible. I never, I don't know history. I didn't know those things like I do, of course, now, and I'm still learning more. Once I get off of him, I go read my Bible. But it's just interesting when I'm reading it and see how, it was nothing here first. Like, it was just energy and soil and water. Because God is just an energy, it's a spirit. I'm learning. Like, when I'm in this Bible, I be looking up each word, like, just to try, because I'm really trying to piece this together to figure out, like, how the hell, like, isn't it not weird to you guys that he created a man out of dust and then put him to sleep and took out his rib to create a woman to be his partner? It's just interesting, like, the whole thing, like, how do you, and then it's interesting how when we die, we turn back, our flesh turns back to dust. Like, it's just interesting. But nonetheless, what I was talking about is the frog. Like, when I first got started on my spirituality journey, like, I was living with my mom. I think I told y'all this in one of these videos I did. But I was living with my mom in her basement. Like I told y'all, I had just moved back with my mom June 2018 when I left my baby daddy. I was living with my mom, and I was just working on myself. I was there because I knew I only went back there just to leave him, because I couldn't deal with that narcissistic relationship anymore. It was driving me crazy, for real. So I went back to my mom, even though I really didn't want to go to her house either. But it was like to the point, that's how you know it's that bad, when you like, I'd rather just go listen to my mom nag than to be in this house with this guy, like, who's so up and down. Like, the emotional abuse with narcissists is really crucial. It's emotional and mental abuse, basically, because it messes with your mental. That's what I'm gonna get into in the next video. Right after this, I'm gonna do the video about lust is the root of evil, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been crying so much, y'all, because happy tears and sad tears, because it's like God really has a way of working. He really does. But when I was first living with my mom, And I used to be in the bathroom, like, and as soon as I go in the bathroom, I'll be hitting my bong. Like, I'll be in the bathroom hitting my bong. And all of a sudden, a frog jumped to the window. Mind you, my mom, I was living in the basement. So, and then she has a deck outside of her, out back. Like, she has a deck built onto her house. So under the deck, it's just dirt, and my bathroom window, if you look out the window in the bathroom, you're not gonna see nothing but the dirt outside, because that window is underneath the deck. So you can't see anything, it's just dark. So this frog kept jumping to the window. I'm like, what's the odds? Like, I was like, first I was like, what the hell is that? But I realized, I'm like, every time I had came in there and turned the light on, he jumped, like, he started coming to the window. Like, it probably was about a good 3 or 4 times that he came to the window. And I'm like, what's the odds that when I'm in here, you keep coming to the window? And it's like, why are you even under the deck? Why are you here? Like, so my curiousness, I told y'all I'm curious and I'm a researcher. So anything that I'm curious about, I'm gonna Google it. I said, frog came to my window, like, and then that's why I learned about spirit animals. In the season I was in my life, you know, working on myself, you know, just trying to stack my bread and working hard, you know, getting my money up and getting my credit together. I was working on all of that so that I can move out my mom's house, because the goal was never to go there and stay with her, because I don't want to live with her. I just needed to go there to get myself together. Every time. Hold on, y'all. So this baby, y'all, she be getting on my nerves. Always got an issue. But, so that frog was coming to my window. And I looked it up or whatever. And it was a small one. It was not as big as this one now. Like, y'all, this shit is crazy, because that's when my journey first began. That's where everything, 2018 is where my mind started shifting. More so 2019, but I was like, it's just crazy how when I think about and so it was like towards the end of 2018, or maybe even 2019, when I started seeing the frog, because I moved from my mom's house. I stayed with her for like a year and some change. And I moved there June 2018, moved out November 2019. But just throughout that period, like, the first thing that basically led me to spirituality was seeing that frog. So after that, anything weird that just crossed my path that just don't make sense, like, spirit animals are basically just real. I'm here to let y'all know spirit animals are real. And when you see something crossing your path, if you see this butterfly, just like the orange butterfly, and it's so crazy how one of my prophetic word girls did a video on the butterfly like almost a month or so ago. And when she did that, I kept seeing, me and my daughter, we kept seeing that same orange and black butterfly. And it's so funny how at the lake the other day, we walking, the butterfly just keep flying in our way, And my daughter started chasing it, she started chasing it. It's just so interesting. Even with the fox, mind you, y'all, I never, like, one time, when I was pregnant with my second baby, me and my daughter had went to Chili's. I always take my daughter, before I had this baby, we would just always go out to eat or go out somewhere. Like, I always do that. So we had went out to Chili's, one of our little dates before the baby came. It was like the last date we went on before the baby was about to come, just us two. And we was leaving out of Chili's, like, literally at the door leaving out, a fox crossed right in front of the door. I was like, what the hell? What the what? Like, I never seen no fox. I was like, what was that? That was not a cat. And I never seen a fox before, like. And then that same fox, I don't know if it was the same one. And that was in Cockeysville, 15 minutes from where I used to live at. And then that same fox, I saw him again outside of my house. We was getting out the car. Literally, we was getting out the car after I had just finished parking. That thing came running across the lawn. It crossed my path. Then, the third time I seen it, when I'm in the house, I just look out the window. I'm nosy. I just randomly look out the window, just like yesterday. I'm gonna tell you about that. I randomly had looked out the window, and all of a sudden I saw that fox again crossing the yard. I was like, what is the odds that all this, and I had not seen a fox ever since then. But when I had looked it up, what it was saying, the representation, the meaning of the fox, it was right on time with what I was going through in my life. Even from the crows, even down to these red robins and the frog. I'm gonna get back to the frog that I saw last night. And all of a sudden, this red robin, like these past 2 weeks, I keep seeing a red robin on this, and it always when I come around. Like yesterday, literally, I looked out the window in my room, and something red had flew to the ground right there. I had just looked out the window, like I told you, I randomly just go look out the window. I don't know why I do that. I just randomly go look out the window. And it was right there. The red robin was right there. It just flew to the ground right there. And then I saw him walking out because I couldn't see him because the way my window is, it was like a cut, but I had saw something. Like, as soon as I looked out the window, then I seen it walk out. I was like, wow, this red robin again. Like, maybe God is trying to send me a sign. Like, I'm telling y'all, when that video I did about how I started to hear God, he started putting all these different things in my path. And even just now to how he put, you know, different prophetic word people in my path all of a sudden. It's just like crazy how, that's what first got me. That's why I always knew God was real. I just wasn't that close to him, but I knew he was real because it was times, like he saved my life so many times. I supposed to have been dead. Them accidents, like times, y'all, I was supposed to get in an accident several times. And I didn't. Even when I coming to Texas, I told y'all that car was, man, that's how I said God is real. Well, I was like, my angels, my cousin and them up there protecting me, baby. But then it was so interesting now. I just thought about this last night. I said the frog that I just saw. So it was just several different things, several different spirit animals. Like when you keep seeing these things, like something keep crossing your path, anything that becomes repetition, pay attention to it. Like even the angel numbers, even though they say that's demonic, but those very things is what led me to God. Keep seeing my birthday. All of a sudden, 9/17. Never had paid this, never had seen this before. And all of a sudden, every time I look up, it was 9/17, 9/17, 9/17. And that's because I'm having a rebirth. I'm having a rebirth of me. Like, I'm having a rebirth. But that stuff means stuff. And now that I know that when I see those numbers, them angel numbers, go to them verses in the Bible, so it all makes sense. I finally know. Because I keep seeing these angel numbers and I'm not getting it, God. Like, and then they start switching up because now I see 117 a lot. And that means aligning with your purpose, your true calling with God. Like, it's just so crazy how numerology, astrology, people who say that stuff is not real, but astrology is earth signs, air signs, fire signs, and water signs. Those are the 4 elements of earth. Those are the 4 energies that was here before anything, before any human. Those are the 4 things. Air, fire, earth, and water. Those are the 4 elements. That was what was here before. Water, I'm learning like water, it was just water, soil, which is earth, and energy here. God was a spirit that moved. They say God was a spirit that moved on the waters. And the only thing that was here was, like, we ain't even about to talk about that. But the big frog, and then now y'all, I'm seeing the big frog. Like, I mean, not a huge one, but a bigger one. It's like the one that I used to see in my window at my mom's house has grown up. And I think that's the sign. Like, I didn't even look it up last night, but I'm about to look it up when I get off of here. I did look it up last night. It was talking about good luck, good fortune, like everything. Like, it's just so crazy how I said, wow. And literally the other day, when I tell you we was walking, he literally jumped in my path. Like, everything literally is crossed my path. I ain't going out seeking for it. Just literally come across my path. And it's just so interesting because it's basically symbolizing like you've grown in spirituality. I think that's what it's representing. Like, because since I first seen that little frog to now, over these couple years. Like, yeah, I have been one foot in, one foot out. Still not really understanding, because I just been trying to get an understanding all this time. Like, just keep talking to God. And the more I talk to him, the more he reveals. The more I talk to him, the more he reveals. The more you talk to him, the more he reveals. I just learned that Bible stands for basic instruction before leaving earth. This is why we all need to be in our Bibles. They have distracted us with all these things, with all the 7 deadly sins. They distract us with all of that so that we don't have time to focus on our Bible to get real structure and really know how we're supposed to be living this life. And it's crazy, through me going through everything I went through that I've been telling y'all in these videos about, has led me to God, has led me to his Bible. I didn't even know I was a Jezebel. I didn't even know my baby daddy was Ahab. I didn't even know about these things. I didn't know about Jezebel until I started looking at Tony Gaskins videos, and he be talking about the Jezebels. And some of the stuff he be saying, I be like, hey, that's like me. Like, you know. But one thing about me is I love the truth, because if nobody told me the truth, I wouldn't be growing. Like, nobody told me this, that, and that. Like, knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. Like, it really is. And it's just interesting how that frog is now grown up. It ain't no more that little baby frog that kept jumping to my window. Now it's the big one that's crossing my path. It's just going to show that you really growing in spirituality, girl. I've grown so much. I have so much more of an understanding. I don't know everything yet, of course, but it just goes to show that it ain't about this religion shit. Like I said in that last video yesterday, spirituality, God took me, and it's like sometimes I be like, because I know I still suffer from some of the things, you know, it's just certain habits I still know I gotta work on, like, and I realized that I said, God has accepted me for who I am. He cared, he called me being who I am. He's loved me for who I am. I don't, like, this whole time, yeah, I wanted to be a better person, and he saw that I was putting in that work. So the more work you put in, the more he rewards you. And the closer you get to him, when he see that you actually are trying to follow his commandments, his instructions, the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving earth. And I didn't even know I was I'm in the Bible, like, look, reading this stuff now, learning about the Jezebel and everything and all these different things. I've been in alignment. You know, I've been doing those things without even knowing that I was, because I didn't know the Bible. I had never read the Bible. Reading Joseph's story, I'm like, wow, he sound like me. They counted you out. Joseph is my cousin too, my angel, my baby Mints. Rest in peace, Mints. And I just knew he's with me through this whole thing too. My cousin was so gifted like me. He was so spiritual in that sense. Like, he wasn't one of the world. He did his own thing like me. I do my own thing. I'm not mixy. I'm not trying to fit in with everybody else. I do my own thing, like, you know. And it's just crazy, because when I think about all of this and how I got to where I am, God literally was with me the whole time. God is watching everything. He sees everything we do. I don't steal no more. I used to steal. All that, man. And I think that's why now, like, even that self-checkout, like that temptation, I don't even have the temptation, because I want to just pay for my stuff. God has rewarded me now, you know, to be able to pay for my stuff. So I don't steal like I used to when I was fucking under 21. How old was I? Because when I used to steal, I put my best friend on to stealing. I realized I kind of was a bad influence on her a little bit. In a good way. I was a good influence in the right ways, but it's just certain things I used to do too. So, like, I realized that I put her on the stealing and smoking. She didn't used to smoke when she first met me. Like, I'm a bad influence. But I'm a good influence too, because I taught her, like, we gonna focus on work, school. We gonna prioritize what matters, and then we gonna do the rest. then we gonna party and do all that. So, but business first. I always been a woman about my business. I'm about my business. Even when I had boyfriends and all that, nope, I'm still busting them good grades out. Nope, I'll see y'all in a minute. Wait a minute. Business first. But yeah, it's just like, that's just what I wanted to say about the frog. Like, it's crazy how he bigger now. I'm bigger now. I've grown. Like, that's what it's symbolizing. Like, when you get deep in this spirituality shit ain't nothing about religion. So don't be mad at me cussing. Yes, I cuss and still talk about God in the same sentence. Yes, I did. Because he don't judge me. And I was crying about that this morning. I'm like, I keep saying, oh, I do kind of want to work on cussing a little bit. But like I said, I like the cuss. Fuck. So what? He loved me still. He accepted me still. Hold on. So, yeah, y'all. But that's really all I wanted to say in this video. It's just like, man, he will use anybody. He will use anybody. Like I said in that last video, he will use the devil. He will use anything or anyone to get you closer to him. Like, look at what I had to go through just to finally start reading the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving Earth. And most people, in reading the Bible, I see why people don't read the Bible. Because that shit is irritating. Who wants to read that language? I got the KJV, King James Version of the Bible, because I heard that that's the most. My best friend, she the one, like, even with her, she was godly because she, you know, I think she grew up in church. Now, I went to church, like I said, a couple of times, but it wasn't like on no consistent basis or nothing like that. But we've definitely been into the kid part of church and all that. So, but I just never had to learn the Bible or never learn those scriptures. That just wasn't something that was like a routine in my household growing up. So, but it's interesting. My best friend, the one who first she helped me too with this journey. Like, she started giving me them from her church. She started bringing home them daily prayer books. So she would bring one to me too. So it's just interesting, like, everybody, that's what they say, they use your enemies as your footstools, because all the same very people, all the ones I was close to, everybody that I cut off is the same very ones who God used to get me closer to him. Because I was just a lonely, lost child. And like last night, I be crying because like that NBA YoungBoy song, Lonely Child, like that shit really hit hard. Like, that's why I say I got a special place in my heart for the hood people, the boys and girls of the hood, or anybody, even if you ain't from the hood, if you had a troubling childhood, like troubling teenage years, all of that, I really feel for you, you know, because you do feel lonely. No kid's supposed to feel lonely like that, man. And, you know, when you think you're alone, you're not. God really been watching me this whole time. And that's what I was telling my baby daddy. I said, if he could change me, bruh, he could change you. You don't gotta be feeling bad about none of that. You know, if he could change you, if he could change me, he could change you. I used to be bad too, doing bad stuff. Doing stuff, like associated with that stuff, stealing. Like, I've done stuff too. And God saw it all. He sees it all. And he's never gonna give up on you. If you keep trying, like, that's why I always say, I forgive, but I don't forget. And I don't give second chances for real. I damn sure don't give 3 chances. But, you know I'm working on learning that. So they keep telling me I need to learn how to forgive. And I know that that's God telling me that too, because I don't feel like I hold grudges, but people tell me I hold grudges. But it's not that I'm holding a grudge. I just don't vote with you the same. Like, once you show me who you are, I can't unsee it. I know we make mistakes, but at the same time, it is what it is. So, but just know God is always with you, man. Like, wait till everything finished playing out for me. I'm gonna really show y'all how he really always there with you. And when my girl, the real of her promise, her name DJ, I think. Yeah, DJ. All right. Don't be mad at my baby hair, y'all. Every time she get on here, her hair ain't a mess, because it's the morning time. I'm always recording these videos in the morning for the most part. So I just try to get my little stuff together some kind of way, just so I can look a little presentable. But yeah, it was funny how that one video that time she was saying, do you really trust God? Because I was getting mad at God. I was getting mad, like, you just like all these other men out here, God, you always want to make me wait. Why I gotta wait? Like, I just want true peace and happiness. Why can't I get that? Why do I have to wait? What is the deal? Like, why do I always gotta wait? It's like, you just like every other man. I was getting mad at him. And he don't care. He wants you just, God, you gotta literally think of God as your father, mother. You really got to. That's what the relationship is like. You talk to that man. You tell him when you happy, mad, sad. You thank him for when he blessed you. You thank him for everything. You gotta be grateful. That's what gratitude. You have to thank him. Just like you do your parents. We worship our parents, but we don't worship God. And I'm reading the Bible, and it said, you don't put nobody before God. It's a sin to idolize. That's a sin. You don't idolize no one but God. He wants you to put him first. And that's what he was trying to teach me this whole time. You've been seeking. Hey, so you're not going to be just here just chilling, making noise. Like I told y'all, this whole time I've been yearning for my mama love, like trying to seek her acceptance and her validation, making sure she proud of me. But guess what? I had to learn that the only one that matters, hey, let me give you something to play with. Play with this comb. Shit. Oh, here go the lip gloss. Play with this lip gloss. What I had to learn was that the only validation that mattered is God. The amount of peace I feel that now, like I ain't talked to my mom in a couple of weeks now. Y'all saw I got into it with her. And honestly, like I love my mom still, and I know eventually I'm gonna talk to her again. But right now, I just know the season I'm in. I gotta stay focused. I'm locked in with God now, and I'm spiritual. I'm not the same person. I've grown so much, and I think that's what that frog was representing. Like when I first came, I was a little frog. I was new in faith. Like I was new in spirituality. Like that's when around the time, I quit the job 2020. But 2019 or 2018 was when I first started seeing the frog. It was 2019 actually, right before I was about to move. So, because God had saw all the work I was doing on myself from 2018 to 2019. So it ended towards the end of 2019, right before I was moving, I started seeing that little toad. It was a toad. Now he a frog. He grew up. Like he grew up. And I think it just represented I grew up. My faith in God, my trust in God has grew. They say all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. My faith has grown. That's an avocado seed now. Y'all know avocado seed is big as shit. So it's just interesting, y'all. I'm just so happy, like. And that's why I now see why, because what got me started on this path, because God knew I wanted money. I wanted all the glam too. That's what we're going to talk about in the next video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Go over to the next video. Oh, it might not be posted till the day after this one. I might try to post it the same day. Who knows? But go to the next video so I can finish up my day. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.